Finding an audience and breaking into the mainstream in the modern music industry can be quite a challenge even for the best musicians, although with modern technology we are seeing more and more innovative ways that bands and artists are building a fan base. One of the more common platforms used to do this nowadays is TikTok, and one new Australian band named Rancid Eddie were able to find immense success on the platform. Many of the videos of them playing their music have been viewed thousands of times, and they seem to be the latest Aussie act to crack the algorithm. Although when their music began to seep through to more mainstream music platforms like Spotify and Australian national radio station Triple J, controversy arose and they have become the latest act to be quote-unquote cancelled. So how did this all happen? Why are they being cancelled? And what does this mean for the band? Let's delve into that now. But first, if you like seeing content about Australian music, please consider subscribing and that would be much appreciated. Rancid Eddie are an indie rock band from Mount Waverley, Victoria, who rose to prominence in late 2021 with the popularity of their song Dry on the platform TikTok. The song peaked at 17 on the ARIA charts and also appeared on the Irish and New Zealand charts. The song and band became well liked due to their extremely loose cannon vibe, laid-back demeanor, and witty lyrics. Rancid Eddie's video would also show a very lo-fi filming and recording style that many viewers found endearing and interesting. They consistently shared videos of themselves playing their songs in a backyard with just acoustic guitars, no mics, and usually sitting on some sort of rundown old couch. Whether or not this was their plan or they just stumbled on this format remains to be known, but it ended up working as views climbed to great heights for them on TikTok. The song with the most traction on TikTok, Dry, was eventually studio recorded and released in September 2021. It subsequently received a place on Spotify's New Music Friday list and was aired on Triple J. This is when the controversy surrounding the band arose. Some individuals involved in the Australian music industry believed that the lyrics to the song Dry evoked misogynistic views and it should not be platformed by outlets such as Triple J or Spotify. These people included solo artists Kira Peru, Montaigne, and Spacey Jane's Caleb Harper, amongst others. Initially pointed out were the lyrics to the chorus of Dry, which say, "Sex don't feel very nice when the feeling is dry and the love's gone away," as well as "I can't get it up when I'm all out of love, and I'm always drunk because I hate you so damn much." Others also pointed out lyrics of theirs from another song that say, "I wanna punch some C, then F some S, then pass out face down in the rain." Peru in particular was critical of Spotify for platforming acts that perpetrate a sick culture that hurts many. Peru also pointed out that the lyrics can be triggering for people who have experienced domestic abuse. She said, "It doesn't matter what the song's about or whether the band identifies as misogynist. The lyric, 'I'm always drunk because I hate you,' unapologetically hints at the type of behavior that anyone who has been in an abusive relationship knows well and shouldn't be normalized, let alone promoted," she posted on Twitter. Similar statements were made when Triple J played Dry for the first time too. As you could imagine, the lads at Rancid Eddie didn't exactly respond to these accusations very positively initially, with a few stoushes on Twitter and unfortunately dropped a homophobic slur in the process. Furthermore, venues that had booked them to play live gigs cancelled their shows, and call-outs continued online. Eventually, they attempted to respond in a more level-headed manner with a lengthy Instagram post about the issue. I won't go through it all, but it essentially stated that the band did not believe they were misogynistic, and they believed music and lyrics cannot be harmful, and the public sphere should be a vent for all forms of expressions, as opposed to being an echo chamber for views that a higher society feel comfortable acknowledging. They went on to defend themselves from those who punched down on them as being from privileged positions, many of whom are already part of the Australian music industry conglomeration. They apologised for the homophobic slur and denied any other accusations of abuse. So that's pretty much how it all ended, and Rancid Eddie have continued to go on to release more music and posting plenty of videos on YouTube and TikTok. When all of this arose though, it got me thinking, did Rancid Eddie really just get cancelled? Or did they just get the most advertising on the internet of any Australian band at the end of 2021? I know I sure as hell had never heard of them before any of these controversies arose. I recently watched a documentary called The Defiant Ones about Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, who made Interscope Records. The show detailed the events that led up to them selling Dr. Dre's beats for billions of dollars, and it was interesting to see the way that many artists involved in this journey gained their popularity. Many of the biggest ones involved in this label and Dr. Dre's journey were artists that some form of group in the public attempted to cancel or at least stirred up some sort of controversy about them. This included NWA, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, Eminem, Lady Gaga, and more. Many of these artists were even blacklisted from radio stations and MTV as being deemed to be too inappropriate for listeners. These controversies that gained media attention though just gave every artist more advertising and essentially more popularity. It even felt like Jimmy Iovine specifically looked for artists who would stir up controversy knowing that they would get free advertising. I find similarities to those examples as to what is happening at the moment with Rancid Eddie. Now, I'm not saying I condone their lyrics, actions, or attitudes towards this matter. I personally do think they seem like pretty annoying guys that I would not really want to hang out with, but you have to admit they were provocative and that made people talk about them. All these call-outs that Kira Peru and Caleb from Spacey Jane did just caused them to have more attention and essentially gain more fans and listeners. Their TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify's are still going really strong, and their name is way more known now than it was 6 months before the accusations. I think what people need to learn from this is that call-out and cancel culture is quite ironically foolish to do. Essentially, your objective in asking for people not to participate in promoting their music is in itself promoting their music, probably more than what the platform actually can. Overall, I'm not really sure where I land on this whole Rancid Eddie situation. I don't really like cancel culture. I think the band seemed like a bunch of tools from their videos, but hey, I think that's why some people seem to like their content. Ultimately, what we have learned from this experience and all previous ones is, if you don't like someone's artistic output and believe it shouldn't be platformed, the best thing you can do is literally nothing. Say nothing, do nothing, and allow the public to decide if they want to hear it or not. And I'll leave it with this last quote from the Straight Outta Compton movie, which I think sums up the whole situation perfectly.
But hey, all publicity is good publicity, you know it.
No, that's right.
Man.